red buttons. It's not my fault this time, guys. It's Kath on the controls this time. Nothing to do with me. But I'll do a little video now of my trees, some of our trees. I said I would, so I'm going to start now. This is going to be this first one. This is a Japanese larch that we've had for what, about a year now, something like that. Still in loads and loads of development. It's got really long, leggy growth. A big long branch here, and all the pads at the back. So we're going to have to try and do something with that. Try and do something with that. But this one has just come out with, if I can find any decent ones, has come out with some. These will eventually, if you guys can see that, there, will eventually turn into cones. And you've got some more, another one there as well. There's loads all over the tree. Turn into cones, they will. So it's not bad, it's not a bad little tree. It's not a big tree, but you see, still a lot of work needs doing on it. But that's going to be nice, with a nice movement on the trunk as well, and loads of old bark on the trunk. She's shown it's quite old. So that's that. That's the larch. One of the larches that we've got. We've got another little one here, but we're just going to let grow. Let's put it over here so we can see it a bit better. It was a freebie off somebody, which was nice. Styled it all. Took a big branch off at the back there. Wait to this. Big branch off the back there. So, but it's all just styling it now, and then I'm just going to let it grow and just keep cutting it down when we need to. It's got a lot of years left yet. I said a lot of these trees need a lot of work. So, the calves, golden hinoki cypress. Again, she needs to style this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you need to style it, but she never does. She'll get round to it eventually, apparently. Got another one here. This is a Shimpaku juniper. Originally, all of the foliage here was like this. It was like a big, like a broom style. It just all went out that way, and it was all up. And I've bent it all over. Got a few branches off, created some deadwood features, some shari, which is dead on the trunk, deadwood on the trunk. Twists around quite nicely and stuff. And that's just starting to bud up now, like, so it's just starting to grow. Thank you for that, Kev. There's another one, a nice Warsaw pot as well that we had made for it. Warsaw ceramics. Good pots. More development trees. Got a little blue star juniper. Tiny little thing which I just got from a garden centre. And that's all wired up, and just leave it now for a few years and let it grow and just trim it back. Need to trim it back a little bit prickly. Just trim it back a little bit, that'll be alright, that'll be nice. Oh, what else we got over here? You can come over here, Catoniaster. Or cotton Easter, as the Americans call it, but it's a Catoniaster. Again, just starting to nice bit of moss on there, like. Just starting to grow now. You can see the different colour leaves are green. Different when they get darker, we can trim them back a little bit more. Just need to put it into a bit more better shape now. I'm just letting it grow a little bit. That's not a bad looking tree. That's all right. Got some little Satsuki. Two there. Little Satsuki azaleas. These are sort of come from Japan. These are going to take a long time. You'll see, we've got another couple more where they're few more years on to these, but you'll see. But they're just like, again, years and years before these are actually. But these will develop flowers as well, which will be nice. We don't know what colour yet. We don't know. We don't know what colour, so I'm hoping they're going to flower this year. We'll see. There's another azalea there at the back, which is Kath's. Which all needs a bit more work on it, like, because it's a bit flat here and everything. There's some more pads. These need building out, which we will get to eventually. Scots pine here. This one's in a a pond basket because apparently it helps the roots immensely. But this one's got a lot of all the needles are all the candles are starting to extend now, and there's loads of back buds all over the place. So this is just going to explode. It's going to explode this year. Hopefully, it's going to start looking nice. Nice little Scots pine again. Loads and loads of years yet. We've got another one that's on a rock that you'll see in a bit. Japanese white pine. This fell off, and it broke the top. Which you guys can see there, it broke the top. So I've had to, this was a branch originally, this one, and I've had to bend it upwards to make it as part of the top of the tree now. But again, that's got huge amounts of candles on it. Loads of candles on this Japanese white pine. So that's got loads of years of development yet, still loads of years. New addition, this is Kath's little berberis. Supposed to have red leaves and pink flowers, supposed to.
It's got yellow flowers and red leaves.
It's got yellow flowers and red leaves. But it's nice looking tree. It's got some nice bark on that, I quite like that. Looks like a bit of a garden going on in here as well. This is the moss and little flowers that some of the moss has done. It's actually quite nice. Next one's a little acer. It's one of the small varieties. Can't remember what the cultivar of it is. Can't remember the cultivar, but underneath it's beautiful looking tree underneath, like, you know, it looks like a really old tree. This got hit by the sun big time, and a lot of the leaves have gone a bit crispy. I've cut a lot off, as you can probably see, because that will start growing some new ones, but underneath it's still lovely and green, as you can see that. But then on the top it's getting a little bit crispy. But again, another nice tree. Next one, again, loads of years left yet on this one. This is a Blaw's juniper. All really twisted up trunk. As you can see, I've twisted all the trunk up. Again, we've got loads of years left on this thing. Loads and loads of years left. That's that one. Another Japanese larch, like that first one that you saw, but really small. Lovely trunk on it. Really small. It's just starting to elongate now on the growth. So it's just starting to grow itself now. Nice little Japanese larch there. I'm not going to pick this one up because it's full of clay, it's heavy. Big Saguaro cypress. Bargain that was. Absolute bargain that was in a garden centre. So it just wants, I've took some of the wire off, but it wants some of the branches pulling back down again. I've took them off just to give it a bit of a rest from the wiring for a bit. But that's going to be a nice tree. Again, nice little Japanese maple. Again, it's one of the dwarf cultivars. Again, I can't remember the name of it. Kiyohime or something like that. But again, that's got a lot of years left yet. A lot of years. There's one of Kath's little tiny acers. Tiny little thing. Look at the trunk on that, it's tiny. Look at the size of the leaves compared to it as well, it's massive. But we're growing the branches out just to make them thicken up a bit. And that's going to be the apex as well. And if you can see there, the apex will be there, sitting up there. So that'll be a nice little one, eventually. Kath's little Scots pine. It's got loads of back buds on it now, and candles are starting to form. That's the same as that other one in the pond basket, but obviously this one's a lot older because of the trunk. It's about 25 years old, I think this one was. So that's all twisted up as well. And that one again, loads of years of development for that one. Another one of Kath's Hinoki cypresses. Now this desperately needs...
It was though, wasn't it?
It desperately needs styling now. But again, she'll get round to it eventually when she can be bothered. But all this new growth here, though, all the light green, this is all new growth. Got a branch there that's looking a bit sick. See the different colour? It's looking a little bit sick, but we'll get round there. It'll get there. Is it broke?
Yeah.
Oh, it's broken.
The birds landed on that.
Yeah, we've got a oh, it is broken.
Yeah.
Let's take it off then.
Oh,
It's broke, it's dead.
I was popped my eye pin.
Oh well, it's dead. I'll throw that on the floor. we've got a habit of there's squirrels that like to jump off the fence and they like to land on the tree. Get him one day, I will get him. Another little Blaw's juniper, tiny little thing. Now people say that the right soil and everything that you need, usually Akadama, pumice and kiru, but this is literally just gravel. That's all this is growing in, and it loves it.
It's been there 12 months.
And it loves it, absolutely loves it. Procumbum's juniper on a cascade. As you can see, the top here, we had a bit of a problem. We repotted it and it's got hardly any roots. The last person that had it didn't, there was no roots in the centre of the tree at all. So there was no soil in there. So we've repotted it now and it's starting to green up. It is starting to come back. There's a lot of growth. We've got a lot of growth on that. So it looks nice, looks nice. It does look nice, that one does. Another Procumbum's next to it, Procumbum's juniper, exactly the same as this one, but this has got loads of growth, absolutely loads of growth, loads of new growth. You can see all these little buds really elongating and stuff. Again, a little bit of a prickly plant like, but it's fine as long as you go up the foliage and not go down hard on the foliage. It hurts if you do. Another Procumbums, this is Cass again, another cascade that she's done, lovely shape. Again in a Warsaw pot. My Hinoki, this one's had a lot of problems. I've got a dead branch here. There's a dead branch here. It was what was called a parent and child plant, where there was like a smaller trunk. So it looked like a parent with a child sitting on its knee, but that's died off. As we can see, look, this is all getting... So I've had to redo it. So it's that sort of style at the moment now, looking like that. Oh, what else do we have? Little tiny cryptomeria. It's a bit wet, it's been raining. Little tiny cryptomeria. Again, another spiky little plant. It takes a long time to grow these. This was an air layer from the parent plant, which we did last year, and I'll show you that now. Oh, that's this one down here. Now this one, the trunk of it's going to be really nice. What we're going to do is we're going to air layer this branch off, which means stripping the bark, covering it with sphagnum moss, putting a bag over it, and then eventually it will grow roots, and then we can cut it off. That's going to be this one here, and then this one on the top. That one's going to be the same as well. So we're just starting to wire the branches out now, just to give it a bit of shape just before it does start to grow, and that will leave us the bottom part. And then we'll cut this off and the bottom part will be another tree. Hopefully, that's the plan. That's the plan. A Taxus bacatus. A yew tree. English yew tree. This one, haven't done anything to this yet. Haven't done nothing to this at all yet. It's got a lot of new buds coming up. That's something we paid £7 for that, I think we did.
Yeah.
Or something. £7 from a garden centre. That's got a lot of years as well. We haven't even styled that yet. We haven't even looked yet. So, flowering cherry. All the flowers now have gone. As you can see, they've all died off. I don't know if there's any left. Oh, we got one left in here. There's one left just about in here, if you can see that. Just about. But that'll have... Oh, it just fell off. But that'll have little cherries on there as well. Again, was just styling that one up to be like a big broom style tree. That'll look nice. We're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly. Getting a couple of tiny little aces. This one here, as you can see off the bottom there, or off the top.
First air layer.
That was the first ever time we did an air layer on a tree, where you put the bag over with the sphagnum moss, and that was the top of the tree that we air layered off. As you guys can see, that was the top of the tree that we air layered off, and now we've got this, which no idea what the hell we're going to do with it. No idea at all.
It was a tree brought for experiments and it worked.
Experimenting and it worked, so we've got to try and do something with that. Try and do something with that. That'll be interesting. San Jose juniper. Nice tree. Nice little tree. Getting the pond planter just to try and, because apparently they really work well for developing the roots. This has got a lot of growth on it. It's just starting to now, but the thing is with these is they have what's known as juvenile growth, which is these parts here where you can see they're quite spiky, a bit like a procumbens, but then they do eventually, hopefully, develop into the adult foliage like this, and you get the adult foliage then, which is a lot more like the ordinary junipers. That's another one, long time to work with. Another
Texas.
Yep, another elm. Again, we've put this one in a basket so it'll get a lot of roots and stuff. Hopefully, we hope. Just recently done this one. It's got a lot of back buds inside along there. You can start to see it all back budding and everything like so. That'll be quite nice. Gonna have that as a bit of a like a scary forest type tree. That's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be quite interesting. Right, calves. Calf Simpaku juniper. She loves this one. She loves this tree, as you can tell, because this is one where she's doing all the close-up works. Look, but this is
work on all of them.
It's all nice and where the light green is. It's all the new growth. It's got a lovely movement to the trunk. A lot of deadwood as well, with deadwood branch. Tells a story, tells it grew there at one stage and now it's died off. So the tree has to grow this way now because something happened and that died off. And all the deadwood that runs down, all the shari that runs down through the trunk. As it goes from that. Because it would create a line, if that died, it would create a dead line all the way down the trunk to the roots. So that's Cath's lovely juniper. It's a beautiful tree. I love that tree. Another Shimpaku juniper. It took me a week to wire this one. A whole week. But that's got nice movement on that as well. It's got a little bit of shari at the bottom. Here where there was originally a branch. And it's all running down there now. But nice shape to that. Nice shape. It's just starting to grow now. It's just starting to fill out. Wide all the branches, spread them all out so they're nice and wide apart so that the sunlight can get in. Otherwise they have a habit of killing themselves. It's just starting to fill out now, which is nice, which we want. Little tiny garden juniper for £4.99 that I just had a little play with, and I'm kind of doing it as a sort of like a windswept type of style where, ignore this branch for now, this branch eventually will be cut and made into deadwood like this one. I've just put a bit of shape into it, but eventually all the foliage will grow that way to make it look like something's happened this side of the tree, a rock's fell on it or something, and it can only grow that way because it killed everything else this way. But again, the foliage isn't fantastic on it. It's quite long and leggy, which you don't really want, but that's what we'll go for. Just a little experiment. Right, rest of the trees. But yes, listen, we've got one or two trees. So we've got a Mugo pine. You can see all the candles there starting to extend big time. Huge candles. Again, from a garden centre, so it's his first styling. It's got a nice thick trunk. Slowly starts to taper up. It's got its first styling so far. But again, that's a few years. Put this to one side, away for a second, nearly broke the pot. Another larch. Another Japanese larch. Most favourite tree in the collection. It's really old with all the bark. It's really old. Had this off a guy. I've done a lot of styling to it. We've took a lot of branches off. We've restyled the top. There's still wire on there, as you can see. We've restyled the top as well. There's just the wires there, just to hold the branches there for well, probably about 5 or 6 months. But beautiful tree, beautiful tree. Love this tree. This one came out of the Highlands in 1992, and it's been in a pot ever since. This larch. Cass little tiny miniature ivies that she's using as accent plants. It's looking a bit poorly at the moment.
The balsam.
I think the sun's got to it.
Yeah.
Tiny little thing. Those little Satsuki azaleas I showed you in the little tiny tubs, guys. This is Kath's. This is a older one. A lot older, as you can tell by the thickness of the trunk. Again, we don't know what colour flowers this is going to have. We're not sure on that yet. But tiny little leaves on this. Really old looking tree. Beautiful looking tree. Another Japanese larch. Tiny little one. Again, really starting to extend now. Really starting to grow. That's why we've got this. All this that you see on here. This is biogold feed for the trees. But nice little larch. Mountain maple, Japanese Acer palmatum, mountain maple. This is it's quite old. We're doing a lot of work on this. We've taken the top off. We've reduced the top quite a bit. There's a lot of damage on the branches, and we're slowly starting to grow new buds off them and cut the old branches back to these new buds. So this tree's in a lot of development. I mean, the trunk's way too long as well. It needs air layering, possibly sort of like to about there. So that's something else that we're going to do. Scots pine. Tiny, well, I say tiny, it's not tiny, this thing's huge. On a rock, so the roots are over a rock. So it looks like it's sitting on a rock and all the roots are growing over it. Again, all the candles here are starting to extend, starting to grow. Lots of back budding, lots and lots of candles. So that's a really nice tree. Quite a big tree in a way, quite a heavy pot. In a way, that's really nice. Behind that, let me just move this, is a Satsuki azalea, another Satsuki azalea. As you can see, a lot older. Lovely twisted trunk, lovely bark on that, especially at the bottom, it's lovely. Again, waiting for all that to bud, waiting for it to build up. Again, don't know what flowers. I think the flowers are purple on that this year. I'm sure they were purple. Another little juniper with all twisted trunk with all the deadwood on it and all the pads. Back wants a bit of work doing to it because it's quite thin. Quite small foliage on there, but a lot of wire on there as well because we're still working on that at the moment. But it's got a nice shape. It's got a nice shape to it. Nice lovely shape to it. So it's another juniper. I love my junipers. Another one of Kath's little tiny little ivies. Tiny little leaves on it. Tiny little leaves on it. That's a nice little accent plant there. Another saguaro cypress. Big one. Been neglected quite a bit. There's a lot of, like here, you can see a lot of wire scars where somebody's left the wire on way too long, and it started to cut into the tree, hoping that the bark will actually grow over that and so you don't see it. But when we had this, we had it in a different pot, and the root ball here was literally sitting on top of the soil. So, and this went very yellow. All the foliage went very yellow, and we started to lose it, started to die. Well, all we've done is we've taken it out of that pot, put it in this pot, put it in a proper mix, and it's gone green.
It's happy
green,
now.
so it's happy. It's much happier now. It's starting to push out new growth. So hoping that it's going to be all right. Hoping it's going to be all right. A couple of little red cherries. Flowering cherries again. Cherry blossom, as everybody knows them as. Yeah, that one's Kath's. This one's mine. It's kind of that sort of shape with mine at the moment. We have no idea which one. Kath keeps changing the front, so we don't know which one. Oh, there we go. That's the front. Oh, is that the front? That's the front. Well, that's the front, apparently. Well, that branch needs to come down. I'm always doing that. So we've got a beech at the back that still hasn't come out yet. I'm not sure how old it was. Well, I'm not sure when it came out last year, but as you can see, all the buds are still Is it summer?
Yeah.
All the buds are still waiting to come out. They're just sitting there waiting. That's a beech tree. A lot of these guys, if you just left them in the ground over the years, they would just grow into huge, massive trees. Kath's golden larch. It's a nice one. She likes the roots on this one because the roots stick out and everything like. She quite likes the way the roots are all twisted and everything like. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. It's just starting to come out as well. We've got another azalea here, as you can see as well. It's just starting to, the flowers are just starting to come, as you can see there. There's another one here as well. Another one under there. Again, a lot of years left in that of growth. A lot of years. This is a Japanese hornbeam. No, it's not a Japanese hornbeam. It's an English hornbeam. What am I on about? It's starting to thicken up along the trunk right now. The base is starting to thicken up big time. We cut a lot of the top off of this. This was a branch originally that stuck just straight out, and I've bent this upwards to be the top of the tree. Tried to bend this one. Tried to put a bit of movement into the trunk, and what's happened is it broke the bark, damaged all the bark there and there, trying to do it. The chances are that's probably not going to heal very well because the bark is quite thin on these trees, and you'll never get rid of that, which is a bit of a shame. But you'll never get rid of it. But it's not a show tree. It's not good enough. So this, no idea what this is. Kath rescued it from the garden. Literally no idea. It's got nice flaky bark on it. So, but it's just starting to push now. It's just starting to grow. No idea. If anybody knows, put it down in the comments on the video. If you know what that is.
Don't matter what it is. It's
Genuinely do not have a
beautiful
clue.
little leaves, look.
And whatever it is, it's not what it says on the label. It's not what it says on the tin. Another juniper that we just bought from a garden centre that I've styled. It's very, very. Again, look, we only paid $4.99 for it. Look, it says it on the label down there. Look. We paid $4.99 for it, but it's just starting to grow again now. Lots of light yellow growth, so all the growth is new. It's very lime green. This is very nice though. Very nice. Not bad for £5. Can't complain at that. Some other ones that we've got that we're growing on at the moment. This is a Western Burt Acer. Another Acer palmatum, I think it is. But it's a Western Burt variety. This came from the Western Burt Arboretum, where there's thousands of maples and acers. Down here, I was having this one for the tree, for the bonsai, because of the Nabari, for the base. The base is beautiful. Looks like a claw holding on, which is how you want for acers, and it's got a nice little bit of movement, twisted movement there. If I just turn it round a little bit, you can probably see that nice twisted movement and the nice branches. The rest of the tree is probably going to go. It's just the bottom bit that we're after. So, well, if I get my way. Another big acer.
I'll airline it first.
This one's going to be going in the ground.
This one's grandma.
It's got quite a fat trunk on it. This one's going to be going in the ground, and we're going to let this one grow just as a garden tree. It's very nice. You're huffing and puffing a lot, huh?
Keep going up and down, baby.
Kath's little, can't remember what that is. Benny Mako. Another Japanese maple. Another Acer palmatum. She's having that as like a cascade sort of style. Nice red leaves. Nice red leaves. This one, pride and joy at the moment. This is quite big, as you can see. It's quite a big tree. This is a DeSojo maple. Really, really like beautiful, like deep pink, red leaves. Suddenly turn to green, and eventually they go like scarlet red. They're beautiful, beautiful trees these are, especially as bonsai. So what we're doing at the moment is we've got a lot of cuttings. We took a lot of cuttings off these. I'll show you them in a minute. Took a lot of cuttings off that. We're going to try and hopefully get them to work. We've also got some air layers, which is where, as I said, you cut the trunk, leave some sphagnum moss around it, leave a gap, cut all about an inch you take off of the bark, sphagnum moss around it, put a bag around it, and that tree will grow roots from there, and then we'll cut it off when it's got enough roots. There's 5 on here that we're doing. So these are going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully they're all going to be good trees. Hopefully. The last little bit, guys, in the greenhouse. Never thought I'd say I'd have a greenhouse. Never ever thought I'd ever have a greenhouse. Man, I'm old. I'm old. Little tiny hinoki cuttings, hinoki cypress cuttings that we did last year. Have put on loads and loads of growth, so we're hoping that these have rooted. We're hoping. These are the cuttings from that Acer. In there, hoping they're going to be all okay. All in different potting mediums and different bits and bobs. We try different ways. See which ones work, see which ones don't. Inside here is a little hawthorn that we found as we were digging. We found a root sticking out of the ground with some growth on it. So we thought, okay, we'll cut it up. We'll take some that's got roots on it, put it in there for the humidity, and it sprouted big time. So we might have our own little free hawthorn there. Dead looking forward to. Right, guys, so that's going to be it. There you go. I said I did the video. There you go. So that's my trees. Some are brilliant, some are not so bad, some are going to take some years. So, but anyway, guys, thumbs up if you like the video, and I'll keep you posted. I'll do one in the summer where a lot of the stuff was leafed out again and grown, and we'll keep you updated. So thanks for watching this, and check out my usual streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Call of Duty. Have a good one, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.